Paige, a 28-year-old single mother raising my 5-year-old daughter, Paula. Ever since my husband suddenly passed away a year ago, I've been raising her on my own. My parents always tell me, Paige, if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to rely on us. You don't have to do everything alone. But I made up my mind to raise Paula by myself as much as possible. Somehow, I felt like that was the best way to honor my late husband. That said, balancing work and raising a child alone is exhausting. There were so many times I felt like I was about to break. But one thing that always gave me a moment of peace was watching Paula happily playing with her friends. Paula, I'm here to pick you up, I called out as I arrived at her daycare after work. I found her playing house with her best friend, Henry.
Oh, Mommy, just a sec. Henry and I are in the middle of an important husband and wife talk.
Wait, what?
We're discussing our future plans.
Okay.
Henry thinks a house is better so we can build a kids' room when we have children, but I prefer a condo. What do you think, Mommy?
Wow, kids these days really take playing house to the next level. As a single mom barely scraping by to cover groceries each month, buying real estate is nothing but a pipe dream, something that only exists in make-believe. My late husband passed away so young that he never even thought about life insurance, so he left us without any financial safety net. That's why I work day after day, just barely managing to cover our living expenses and rent.
A house or condo, either one's fine. But the real issue is whether you can get approved for a loan. Self-employed people have a tough time with mortgage applications. It'd be best to check with the bank first to see how much you can borrow before you start looking at properties.
Henry's dad had somehow appeared behind me and joined the conversation with Paula and Henry.
Oh, I see. But honestly, if Henry grows up to be the kind of man who has to worry about whether he'll pass a mortgage screening, this marriage might not even happen in the first place.
Ooh, got me there. You're right. I'd like Henry to grow into the kind of man who doesn't even have to worry about loan approvals. Just like you said.
Then, Henry's daddy, you can be the banker. How much can we borrow?
Ah, a loan consultation, I see. Well then, first I'll need to see proof of the husband's income.
Henry's dad is a single father, having divorced his wife, and he's a really nice guy. He always plays along with Paula and Henry's pretend games like this, making him such a kind and playful dad. I watched their little role play with a smile, but then Henry's dad suddenly turned to me.
Oh, by the way, Paige, my restaurant's opening a second location soon. You and Paula should come check it out.
Wow, that's awesome! Henry's dad owns a restaurant, and it's one of those places that's really welcoming to parents with kids, so I go there sometimes. Only sometimes, though, because money is tight.
This new location has a bit more of an upscale atmosphere compared to the current one. I wanted to create a more refined dining experience. But don't worry, it's still kid-friendly. If Paula, such a well-behaved little lady, wants to come, she's always welcome.
Oh no, so it's even fancier than his current restaurant? I'd love to support Henry's dad and check it out, but considering my strict budgeting lifestyle, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be an option for me. Just as I was having those thoughts, Paula tugged on my sleeve.
Mommy, I want to go to Henry's dad's new restaurant. Please.
I hesitated. How much would a meal at a luxury restaurant even cost?
Mommy, please, I really want to go.
Paula never usually asks for anything because she knows we're on a tight budget. That's why, when she does make a rare request, I want to grant it if I can. I made up my mind. You know what? A little splurge once in a while wouldn't hurt. If I just save a little more and expand my repertoire of beans and egg dishes, I can make it work. Alright, let's go check it out.
Yay!
Now that the decision was made, the next step was to make a reservation. Since this new restaurant was on the fancier side, reservations were required. I quickly picked up my phone and dialed the number.
Hello?
Hi, I'd like to make a reservation.
Of course. How many guests?
Two. One of them's a child, though.
Ah, that's a problem, you see.
Excuse me?
I mean, think about it. If you're bringing a child, a normal reservation would be at least 3 people, both parents and the kid. But you're only booking for 2, which means you're a single parent, right?
Well, yes, but...
Kids don't eat as much as adults, and they don't drink alcohol, so the total bill ends up lower. You do understand that, don't you?
It's true that dining out with a young child probably meant a lower check compared to 2 full-paying adults, but still, what kind of attitude was this?
Well, if you really want to come, I suppose we could accept your reservation, on the condition that you pay for 2 full adult meals, including the same amount of alcohol as if 2 adults were drinking.
What? That's ridiculous! Why would I pay for food and drinks we won't even consume? I couldn't afford to waste money like that, nor did I see any reason to.
If you don't like it, that's fine. We don't need your business. If you can't afford it, you're not our kind of customer. We don't take reservations from poor people.
Fury surged through me. I see. Well, never mind then. I slammed the phone down. What an unbelievably rude person. There's no way I'd want to eat at a restaurant with staff like that. After taking a moment to calm my anger, I forced a smile and turned to Paula. Sorry, sweetie, but I couldn't get us a reservation. Looks like they were fully booked. We'll try another time, okay? Paula had been playing with her building blocks while I was on the phone, so I expected her to be disappointed. But instead, she reacted in a way that I didn't quite expect.
Oh, I see. But don't worry about it, Mommy. Honestly, it's such a shame when people fail to manage things properly.
Huh? Before I could ask what she meant, Paula simply went back to playing as if our conversation had never happened. It seemed like we wouldn't be dining at Henry's dad's news restaurant anytime soon. I considered telling Henry's dad about how rudely his staff had treated me over the phone, but in the end it felt like too much tattling. I decided to keep this whole incident to myself and let it go. 1 week later. That weekend, Paula and I visited my parents' house. As we sat together, Grandpa, Patrick, suddenly turned to Paula with a big smile.
I've got a special gift for you today, Paula.
Wow, Grandpa, what is it?
A meal at the new restaurant that just opened by the station.
The restaurant's name? Henry's dad's place.
I have plans that day, so I won't be able to go. But I made a reservation for you and Paige to enjoy a nice meal together.
Oh, thank you, Grandpa. I've always wanted to go.
I was about to decline, but before I could, Paula leapt up and hugged him tightly. He was absolutely smitten.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And I have one more present for you.
He pulled out a small cloth pouch with a long strap designed to be worn around the neck.
Grandma Polly made this by hand.
Grandpa, what is it?
It's a charm to keep you and Paige safe. Make sure you wear it around your neck when you go to the restaurant, all right?
Okay, I will. A few days passed and the day finally came for us to visit that restaurant. Paula and I dressed up as much as we could. We definitely didn't want to be turned away for not meeting the dress code.
Welcome.
A man greeted us as we arrived at the restaurant.
I'm Johnson, the manager. You must be the party under the name Patrick. 2 guests, correct?
Because the reservation was under a man's name, he looked at us with a puzzled expression. Yeah, we made the reservation under Patrick's name for 2 people. I recognized that voice. It was probably the same person I spoke with over the phone that day. Oh, I really hope he won't say anything rude again. But without another word, the manager led us to our table.
For your meal, we'll be serving the course menu that Mr. Patrick requested over the phone. What would you like to drink?
We're fine with just water, please. I replied. Paula was still a child and I didn't drink alcohol, so water was all we needed. Then, to my shock, the manager clicked his tongue in annoyance. Did he just tusk at us? A customer?
You don't even know how to enjoy a good wine with your meal. Seriously, women like you are such a hassle.
What? I wanted to snap back at him, but I couldn't lose my temper in front of my daughter. Just as I was holding myself back, Paula spoke up.
Hey, Mommy! I'm really glad we got to come here today. The other day on the phone, they refused to take our reservation, didn't they? They said they don't accept reservations from poor people, but Grandpa made one for us, so it all worked out.
Paula, that's enough! I quickly tried to stop her. Seriously, kids always say the most outrageous things at the worst possible times.
Huh? So you're that broke woman who tried to make a reservation the other day? The single mother who said she couldn't even afford to pay for 2 adults?
It seemed like the manager remembered our phone call.
And now instead of giving up, you went and used someone else's name to make a reservation? Thanks to you, today's sales are in the gutter. Wine has a high profit margin, you know, so tell me, who's gonna cover the loss, huh? You?
What? Why me?
Besides, the guy who made this reservation, Patrick, said he'd be paying later. But how do I know he'll actually pay? What if you two are working together to scam us for a free meal? Trying to dine and dash, are we?
He started yelling so loudly that the entire restaurant fell silent. Other diners turned to stare, looking both shocked and uncomfortable. Please stop! I don't deserve to be treated like this!
Oh yeah? Then prove it. Show me a guarantee that the bill's gonna be paid. We don't do pay later here. No money, no food.
What should I do? I did bring enough cash for the meal, but at this rate he's gonna charge me an outrageous amount. Just then, Paula, who had been sitting quietly at the table, finally spoke up.
So as long as we have money, it's fine, right?
Huh?
This is all I have, but will $6,000 be enough?
With that, Paula loosened the drawstring on the omamori pouch Grandpa Patrick had given her and pulled out a thick stack of cash, neatly bound with a bank seal. What?
Huh?
What's wrong, Mr. Manager? You asked to see the money, so I'm showing it to you. So is $6,000 enough or not?
Well, of course. It's more than enough.
Seeing a little girl casually pull out $6,000 had completely knocked the wind out of him.
All right, then, that settles it. But hey, Mommy, honestly, I don't feel like eating here anymore, do you?
Huh?
I mean, I feel bad since Grandpa went through the trouble of making the reservation, but how about we just leave?
Wait, Paula, are you really okay with that? Paula flashed a bright smile and said,
Of course! I just wanted to do some research on a restaurant I might run in the future.
Huh?
What?
A restaurant she might run in the future? What in the world was she talking about? I was completely lost, and judging by the dumbfounded expression on the manager's face, so was he.
But this place isn't just bad at customer service, it's beyond terrible. So, Mr. Manager, call the owner right now, and while you're at it, bring out the future owner too.
Owner? Future owner? What are you talking about?
Quit stalling! Just hurry up and call the owner!
Yes, ma'am.
With Paula barking orders at him, the manager frantically scurried off to the back to make a phone call. The owner of this place is Henry's dad, but future owner? What does that mean? I got my answer soon enough. A few minutes later, responding to the manager's call, Henry's dad walked in with Henry himself right beside him.
Paula! Oh, Paige! You actually came to the restaurant. Thanks for stopping by. So what's going on? The manager sounded panicked when he called me just now.
Henry and his dad were all smiles, but Paula simply let out a sigh and shook her head.
You see, Henry, you asked me to check out the restaurant you're supposed to inherit one day, so I came to take a look. But this place is an absolute disaster.
Huh? What do you mean?
The decor is lovely, but the customer service is awful.
Wait, what?
It's atrocious. The staff complain about women and children because they supposedly lower the average bill. On top of that, they outright accused us of trying to dine and dash.
What? Wait, Paula, is that true?
When you proposed to me, Henry, you said we'd run a restaurant together in the future. But after what I saw today, there's absolutely no way I could ever see myself running this place. So, Henry, I'm rejecting your proposal.
Henry let out a pained cry as Paula flatly rejected his proposal.
No way! Paula, you promised you'd marry me!
If you want to blame someone, blame that manager.
Then I'll fire him right now! What? Fire me?
The manager screeched in shock at Henry's sudden declaration. Firing someone isn't some kind of childish game.
You're right. This isn't a game.
I tried to step in and calm things down, but this time Henry's dad spoke up instead.
A restaurant's job is to provide a place where customers can enjoy their meal with comfort and ease. Complaining about customer spending, calling them criminals, that is absolutely unacceptable! This isn't a game. I hired you because of your experience as a manager. But if this is how you treat our guests, then you have no place here. You're fired! What? Even you, sir?
Ignoring the manager's protests, Henry's dad turned to us and bowed deeply.
My sincerest apologies, Paige. Paula, I've been so busy managing 2 locations at once that I left the new branch entirely in the manager's hands. I had no idea he was treating our customers so horribly. This was my failure as the owner. I'm truly sorry.
Oh no, it's not. Henry quickly followed suit, bowing his head in apology. Well. Caught off guard by their sincerity, I struggled to find the right words. Meanwhile, Paula remained as confident as ever.
Well, this whole thing really did ruin my mood. But at least you're taking responsibility. Just make sure this never happens again. Got it?
Yes!
Good. The most important thing is humility.
Yeah, I get it.
As long as you understand.
So, does that mean my proposal?
I'll reconsider it.
Thank you, Paula!
Overjoyed, Henry threw his arms around Paula.
Hey, cut it out! Not in front of our parents!
Not long after that, the manager was officially fired. Henry's dad hired a new manager, and this time he was nothing like the last one. Thanks to that, the restaurant completely transformed into a wonderful place. Of course, it also helped that Henry's dad had learned his lesson and started keeping a much closer eye on both locations. Later, Grandpa Patrick let me in on the truth. Turns out the restaurant reservation and that $6,000 had all been Paula's doing, and she'd asked him to set it up.
Paula wanted to teach that rude manager a lesson.
Wait, really? I had no idea.
Well, my dear Paula asked so sweetly, how could I refuse?
Speaking of my adorable little Paula,
Oh, Mommy!
when I arrived at the daycare to pick her up, I found Paula playing, not with Henry, but with another boy. I'm here to pick you up. Oh, you're not playing with Henry today?
No, today's Sam's interview.
What?
Sam proposed to me too, but I already told him I have Henry. So then he said, then at least let me stay close to you. Make me your secretary. Oh, I see indeed. So I was testing him to see if he'd make a good secretary. Right, I see. Hey, Mommy, I actually have a few other secretary candidates too. What do you think? How many secretaries should I have?
Well, I don't know. Honestly, at this rate, I'm a little worried about what kind of femme fatale Paula's gonna grow up to be.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!